Hey, MJ friends. Welcome to the It's All for Love podcast. I'm Cheryl Mazza, the healing dancer, your host. This podcast is all about Michael Jackson and how he continues to inspire love in the world and inspires us to live our best lives. In this episode, I am speaking with Otis King Jr. from Marlton, New Jersey. Otis tells us how he looked at Michael Jackson as his guidance counselor at times and would turn to his music and his videos to get through tougher times in life and still does. Otis also mentions that one of his favorite songs is Stranger in Moscow because of the line, "Happy days will drown the pain." It is amazing how most of us still turn to Michael and his music to get us through the tougher challenges in life. We are so fortunate to have had him and his music in our lives. Otis and I also talk about how we can't help it but stop and dance when we hear Michael Jackson when we're out in public or at work. And I'm sure that we are not the only ones that do that. If you are watching on YouTube, please make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Also, please leave us a comment and let us know how much you like this episode. If you are listening on any other podcast platform like Apple, Spotify, Amazon, or whatever platform you're listening on, please make sure to subscribe there. And I would absolutely love it if you left me a positive review. If you are interested in being a guest on this podcast, please reach out to me. I would absolutely love to talk with you. You can find me on Facebook and Instagram at It's All for Love Podcast, or you can email me at mjitsallforlove@gmail.com. Also, in the show notes, there will be a link to schedule a coffee chat with me if you are interested in being a guest so that we can have a little chat before and we can go over everything you need to know about the podcast. Thank you so much for watching and for listening to It's All for Love. Hello and welcome to the It's All for Love podcast. I am Cheryl Mazza, the healing dancer, your host. And today we have Otis King Jr. from Marlton, New Jersey with us. And he loves movies, music, and cooking. And he's also a self-taught freestyle dancer. So welcome, Otis, to the It's All for Love podcast. I'm super excited to talk to you and to hear your Michael story. So thank you for being here. How did you and I meet? It was at the church, right?
Yes, for the Passion Play, and
Yes. And
and
that, gosh, that was so long
and
ago.
forgive me, but before that, I had no clue who you were, but
No, that's okay. We didn't know each other before that. Yeah. Even though we went to the same high school.
yeah, the same high school.
Yeah, it's all right. That was a big high school. Not, it was too big to know everybody, at least for me. I mean, too big. But yeah, we worked on the Passion Play together. I was a choreographer. That was fun. That was fun times. And then we both discovered our love of Michael Jackson, that we loved Michael Jackson together. So
Hmm.
that started the
Absolutely.
friendship. Yes. All right. So we're going to start off with the question that I ask everybody. Tell us your Michael Jackson story. Like, when did he first strike you in the heart?
I honestly don't have a exact moment. It's more or less a number of moments.
Okay.
Um, the first time I saw him was probably um the Motown 25 performance. You know, the one that put him up in that stratosphere, pretty much.
Yes. Yes.
uh, and ironically, that's the Michael performance that I watch almost all the time because it's like you can't no matter how many times you watch that you just can't take your eyes off it.
Right.
It's like one of the I think it's the greatest solo performance of anybody that's ever done the music thing. There's a lot of duplicators, you know, and I tell people all the time, no.
Yeah. They try. They try. They can't.
Because what a lot of people seem to forget. That literally was his first solo performance.
Right.
Before that, he was always performing with his brothers and I remember watching the last documentary on him, Thriller 40,
Yeah.
And one and the funny thing was I was only like maybe a couple months old when that show aired. So I didn't I didn't see that performance till like a couple years afterwards.
Okay.
I was like maybe 5 or 6, and I remember asking my father. I was like, Dad, who's that? And he's like, that's Michael Jackson.
The man, that's the man.
When I was watching Thor 40, they were talking about it, and then they were saying after they did I'll Be There, everyone was like what, and they saw the brothers leave, and everybody was like, what's going on here? Because apparently almost no one knew it that he was gonna do Billie Jean that night.
Right.
Everybody except for Barry Gordy, who put the show on.
Yes.
So and the funny part was the guy that was doing the documentary asked the guy he was interviewing, and was like, um unfortunate task to perform after Michael that night. And the guy goes, I don't know.
Nobody remembers.
So yeah, that, and the first video I ever saw him do was Thriller, obviously,
Mhm.
and no video has touched that since, in my opinion. But
Yeah. Oh gosh. No. Thriller and Motown, like, well, there's a lot of iconic moments with Michael, but yeah,
mhm.
I agree that Motown performance was like the iconic moment. That's what, like, I mean, he was like huge even before that. You could tell he was a star even before that. Everyone was like, "Oh, MG."
Yep, and
What was that I just saw?
yeah, the only video that I would put in the same breath as Thriller is probably Smooth. It's probably Smooth Criminal.
Yes. Yeah. Oh gosh.
Um, the real Smooth Criminal, not the one the sped up version that they always show for some reason.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. The one from Moonwalker. That's
Yeah.
what. Yeah, okay. Yeah. That's the best one because like the full length videos are always the best. Yeah. Sped up one is just the song. So
Yeah.
that's how I look at it. Yeah. Awesome. So Michael captured you by you seeing him perform on TV.
Yes. Yes.
Um, so how does he inspire you throughout your life, or how has he, like, since then, since you first saw him, like how has he inspired you throughout your life?
I often called him my guidance counselor in a
Mm,
way,
mhm.
because whenever I'm in a bad mood or whenever I'm just not in the right place, I just throw on either his music or watch one of his videos, and I'm just in a better place after that.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I agree. Yesterday I was having a bad day and I just was like, what can I do to get out of this? I'm going to put on some Michael. Put on some Michael.
Yep.
Everything's
Absolutely.
okay. As I sing and dance in the car. Do you do that too?
Oh yeah.
I'm like, I don't care what anybody thinks anymore. I don't care. So, does Michael ever show up like magically in your life? If you walk in somewhere and like a song comes on or something will just come around to remind you of him, just shows up in your life?
For the most part, whenever I'm at a store, and his music is playing on the speakers.
Yeah. Do you stop and dance?
Yes.
Me too. I don't care where I am. It happened to me at Best Buy one time. I was with my husband and the TVs that they have in like the big showroom there to show like all the sound systems and stuff. Uh,
Mhm.
well, I don't know if it was Beat It or Billie Jean came on, one of those. And I just started dancing and my husband was like, "Oh my God, what are you doing?" What are you doing? And he walked away from me. I'm like, I don't care. It's Michael. How can you not dance? How can you not move? You know?
Yeah, I remember when I used to work at Sears Essentials. That used to be Kmart before it eventually closed down. I'll be working in the garden center,
Yeah.
and a Michael song will come on, and I'm supposed to be working, but
Yeah.
but when the Michael song come on, I just can't help it.
You gotta take a dance break.
And what was funny is the person who was the security person will walk up to me. He's like, I saw you dancing on the camera. I'm like, hey,
Like, yeah, I'm not gonna
got to.
can't deny it. Oh, I love it. I love it. If you had to pick a favorite Michael Jackson song, what would it be?
Ooh. I have a couple actually. I mostly tell people, and it's kind of an odd choice, but I really like Stranger in Moscow.
Mm, yeah, that's a great song.
You know, everything from the melody, and there's one line he says that I always try to live by, and where he says, "Happy days will drown the pain."
Yes.
I that line just hits me every time.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, that is, I thank you. That I'm gonna write down because
And
sometimes you can read and it just brings you out of that.
yeah,
Yeah.
and that's one of my favorites. Off of Thriller, I always liked Human Nature.
Hmm. Yeah.
And I always tell people that Michael was a poet because he could just put words together that just it would just it just relaxes you.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. It brings you to that just like almost like a meditative
Yeah,
state, like you don't have to actually meditate, you just it brings you to some kind of state.
yeah,
Just like not in a trance, but
yeah.
calm. Yeah.
Bad off the Bad album. Dirty Diana easily.
Yes. That rock.
Yeah. um, Matter of fact, let me ask you something.
Sure.
Uh, well, Bad was originally supposed to be a duet with him and Prince.
Was it? I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
Really?
yeah.
See, I don't
And
know anything about Michael.
yeah, I found out a couple of years ago. It was really supposed to be him and Prince, and Prince actually turned it down. And do you think that was the right song for them to try to collaborate, or
Oh gosh. I don't know. I think anything that they would have done together would have been fabulous.
oh yeah,
Because I love them. I love them both. Obviously, Michael has my heart over
mhm,
Prince, but as performers, as entertainers, as um, talent together, that whatever they did together would have been amazing. I wish they would have done something together. But I don't know if bad. I don't know. I don't know if I would have. I mean, I don't know if I could see Prince in that.
no,
I don't know.
um, I think the video would have had to look a lot different
Yeah.
if it was Prince, because and Prince even said it was an interview with him and Chris Rock, and Chris Rock asked him, I heard you turned out bad," and Prince just looked at him and said, "Yeah, the Wesley Snipes character was gonna be me,"
Oh
and Chris Rock just started laughing. And Prince was like, "Yeah, play that video in your mind, see if that
yeah.
works."
No. That. Yeah. Now that you say that, I definitely could not see Prince doing that. I think Wesley Snipes was the better choice for that.
Oh yeah. um, I think the better song for them to do would have been together would have been Dirty Diana
Yeah.
personally.
Yeah. And he could have played guitar. Like,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Oh, yeah. I like that choice.
Dangerous. Hmm, I really like Will You Be There? I just think it's just it's so soothing, you know.
Yes.
Then there's one album that no one really talks about, which is Blown on the Dance Floor.
Hmm.
My favorite off that one is Ghost. obviously. Uh, oh, I skipped one. History. Um, Stranger in Moscow and Scream are my two favorites from that one. You can't go wrong with him and Janet on the same song.
No, not at all. Sorry, I was going to ask you about another song that I know that you used to like,
Was that?
the 2000 watts.
Oh, hell yeah.
Only because it's like it's not like a typical song that anybody would say about that, but the beat to that song is like
Insane.
I love it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, that's it.
uh, you'd be surprised. A lot of people don't like it, and I'm like, how can you not like it? Like,
I don't know. Yeah, it's different. That's why I like it. I mean, and like I said, the beat just kind of grabs me.
yeah.
Yeah,
Um, Teddy Riley talking through the whole thing. It's just.
yeah, yeah.
But yeah, Invincible. I always don't. I mean, I've said it on my Facebook page all the time. People, in my opinion, just weren't ready for that version of him.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that I think album was very underrated too. And I'm not just saying that because I'm a Michael Jackson fan, but
Mhm. Yeah,
um I think that one came out when I was in college. I can't remember.
that came out at the beginning of my senior year in high school,
That was like early 2000s, right?
2001, I think. Yeah,
2001, yeah. Okay, yeah, I was in college. So I remember like listening to that album over and over again. And I think he came to New York,
yeah.
right? For signing. Ah, I was so mad because I went to college in Pittsburgh and I was like, darn it, I can't get back to New York. So always missed out. Do you have a favorite Michael Jackson music? I want to say musical. There's only one Michael Jackson musical. Short film. I'll just say short film. I know, hard.
I mean, I gotta go with Thriller,
Yeah,
because it when it's basically become the theme of Halloween, basically. And my only, I guess you could say, problem with it now is that some of the zombie costumes didn't age well if you watch it in 4K.
yeah, yeah,
I would say it looks kind of better in regular format, mainly because it was made in the 80s. So
yeah, yeah. No, I agree.
not a lot of 80s stuff age well anyway. So
Right. Yeah. Even though 80s was one of the best eras.
yeah. And I always put Smooth Criminal in the same thing as the entire Moonwalker video,
Yeah.
because you got claymation part of it. I think it's hilarious.
Yeah.
Where those clay people are just chasing him the whole time, and he's got that rabbit suit on.
Yeah. 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 That's where, and then Speed Demon is part of that too. That video.
That's
I love it. Yeah.
another favorite song of mine, but by the way,
Yeah. Yeah. Don't play it while you're driving.
no.
Fun story. I did get pulled over playing that song. So that's why I warn you. Oh, gosh. So many good videos and songs. But what do you want the world to know about Michael Jackson?
just just how great of a person he was, and I don't know if you know this, but on Facebook, I push back on a lot of I know now that a lot of the posts are satire, if you will,
Mhm.
but I'll push back on like one of the most recent one was Jay-Z said Beyonce has overtaken Michael. And I'm like, no, no, no. Now I like Beyonce, I do, I really do, but no.
No.
and 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 you got to give me a better reason for saying that, other than I think Jay Z said Michael never did the Coachella, I think it's called.
Yeah,
I was like, all you gotta do is go back and remember. And Michael didn't need it, no Coachella. He was the Coachella.
exactly. Yeah, I was just gonna say that. Like he didn't need to do that. Like
I mean,
Joe would need to do it if he was here today. Like
yeah. I
yeah,
mean, eh, he's basically he basically did what Taylor Swift is doing now, except without social media.
exactly. Right. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
And he didn't need the Coachella, and as far as I remember, he didn't need a opening act.
Right. Yeah.
You go to Michael Jackson concert, you're going to see Michael Jackson.
Yeah, you're going. The whole concert was Michael. That is true. I never even thought of that. Oh gosh. Wow. Oh, I wish I could have seen him.
Oh, me too.
I might
um,
have been one of those girls that fainted though. I don't know.
um, actually, one of my favorite moments of his was when they first aired the Bucharest concert on HBO.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, younger people laugh at the whole passing out thing, but I'm like, no one's passing out over Taylor Swift, you know.
No,
No one's passing out over Beyonce. He's like,
no, no. And it's not like it was a bad thing. I think what it was, and I say this a lot, and this is like maybe a little woo-woo for people, but it was his energy.
yeah. I
His
mean,
energy, he wasn't like just like I don't know, I can't even explain it. Like I have chills right now just talking about it. Like it would just be like too much for people to like take in. Yeah, and plus you're like you see the crowds of people that were there.
yeah.
I can imagine being like it's hot out, you're like squished up against people, you can't freaking breathe. So yeah, I would pass out too probably.
I remember the beginning of that concert always got me, especially the first time I saw it, because now now this I know no other artist has done. Um, the fact that the man could stand completely still,
Yeah.
not move one muscle, and still have a stadium of people lose their mind. Like every time I watch that, I'm like, the man's not moving.
Right? Yeah.
and and I remember he does that one move where he turns his head and
Yeah.
it's louder. He takes his sunglasses off. It got even louder.
Yeah.
And he does that one move and goes in the jam, and I'm like,
It's like mic drop already. He didn't even sing.
and I remember saying that that night at that moment at 10 years old, at 10 years old, that I said that is the baddest motherfucker I've ever seen in my life.
Amen. Amen. Yeah.
I got in trouble for saying it, but I'm like, hey, but now I'm like, hey, I'm sure both my parents agree with me with when I said that.
Yes, I'm sure they did. I'm sure they did, and I'm sure a lot of us do. Is there anything else that you want to tell us about Michael and about how you feel about him or how he's impacted you or anything?
Same thing. Just how great of a person he was, and how not just a great performer, an amazing humanitarian. He had the Heal the World Foundation, and I'm glad that it's still going on. The I think his son Prince is still doing it
Yeah, the healer.
in some way. I loved watching the funeral on TV. Honestly,
Yeah.
one moment from it, well, two actually, that I loved that had me I mean I don't know about you, but I was crying almost the whole time.
Oh yeah, of course.
And but there's two there was two moments that made me laugh hysterically. One was when Magic Johnson got on the podium and told the story of how when they were discussing Remember the Time,
Mm.
and the chef comes out and goes, what do you want? And Magic said, I'll have the grilled chicken. And he said the chef brought him out the grilled chicken, but he brought out Michael a bucket of Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Yeah.
And Magic goes, I tripped out. I was like, Michael, you eat Kentucky Fried Chicken? And he's right. When we look at people like Michael, we don't think that they eat what we eat.
Right. Yeah.
we think we think that they do everything differently, but when you find out that they're just like us, you know.
Yeah.
And another moment was when they were showing him singing "Who's Loving You" when he was 10,
Mm.
and Smokey Robinson came out and was like, "I wrote that song," and then he said, I thought I sang it, but then this 10-year-old kid comes along." And then he's like, I went to his brothers and his parents. I was like, I want to see his birth certificate. There's no way that this kid knows at 10 years old about hurting a woman.
Right. And he tore that song up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, those were some good moments from not so good time, you know.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And yeah, just how much of a great person he was. And one song that I'm glad people are finally understanding and finally get the message he was trying to send was is Earth Song.
Mhm. Yeah.
Like I remember when it first came out, and no, almost no one was feeling it. I'm
Yeah,
like,
they're like, why is he singing about the earth?
I'm like, I mean, I mean, I get it. Back then, it was the 90s, you know, and if you weren't the flavor of the month, nobody wanted to hear you.
Right. Right. Yeah, but he sung about a lot of stuff that's like even relevant now, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah, and that definitely Earth Song. Um, yeah, they're just timeless.
yeah,
Timeless songs because he was more aware of what was going on in the world than most of us. So,
yeah.
yeah.
Mhm.
We're only just waking up to it now, right? How many friggin' years later? Well, thank you so much for talking with me.
No problem.
Our favorite person, Michael Jackson. I always love talking about him.
Me too.
Obviously, why I'm doing this podcast. um, and yeah, thanks for sharing your story and all of your amazingness. I will talk to you soon and we'll see you all later. It's all for love. Bye.
Overlap.